Today I'm going to be painting another Disney character in oil. This one's Raja the tiger from Aladdin. If you're new to my channel, you might not have seen my other characters that I've painted. I am painting several characters because my fiance and I are getting married at Disney World. Actually, we should be getting married the day after this video goes up. And these are going to be wedding favors for our guest. So when I do these oil paintings, I start with doing a kind of an underpainting. Traditionally, underpaintings are done in like one color, but I do a multicolored underpainting because I'm going to be painting in a really rough and loose impressionistic style. I just want to make sure that all areas are covered, and this also allows me to just color block, so when I'm painting later, it gives me a good idea of what colors I want to go where. I use some oil paint that's been really thinned down with mineral spirits to do my underpainting because it'll dry really fast, and then I move on to doing my background. I like to do my background before I've done the painting proper because that way, in case I get some of the background paint onto the painting itself, it's not a really big deal. I can just wipe it away or paint over it, and this way I won't ruin any of the work I do on the painting itself while I'm trying to do the background. And I always do the background with mostly a palette knife. I'll usually go around the figure with a paintbrush, but I usually use a palette knife for the really interesting texture that it gives the rest of the background, and kind of also the uncontrollability of it. It makes it really random and interesting. The character is usually painted entirely with a paintbrush, although occasionally I will go in with a palette knife, especially if I'm trying to get a thin line. I had the idea to paint Disney characters in a more impressionist type style a couple months ago, and originally I was thinking about doing it for birthday presents. My family's really interested in Disney, which, I mean, my fiance and I are getting married there. We actually met while doing the Disney College program. But then it kind of evolved. Since we're having such a small wedding, I actually do have the time to make everyone their own custom oil painting. And I really hope that no one has figured out what I'm doing yet, because I've been slightly suspiciously asking them what their favorite characters are. So this is my best friend's favorite character. She likes Aladdin, and she likes Raja or Jasmine the best. And I chose to do Raja just because tigers are awesome and he's super cute. So I also really like Impressionism as a style in general. It's probably one of my favorite art styles. But I really like the idea of taking these well-defined cartoon characters and creating them in a different way, like making them look different with different types of art. It's just kind of interesting, and it's kind of a challenge to take these characters that are generally created with simple blocks of color and very simple to no shading, and give them a different treatment, a different type of art treatment, or a different style, or a different look. I don't know, I had a lot of fun painting these. So I should probably talk about the supplies I'm using. I'm painting on a piece of wood. My fiance cuts the wood down for me, and I really like it. I like it better than painting on canvas. I'm painting with oil paint. I paint with Windsor and Newton, and I also have some of the Georgian water mixable oils. The Windsor and Newton oils are traditional, and they can be mixed with the water mixable oils. So I use both, and I'm just using some cheap paintbrushes that came from Michael's. One of the things I've been doing with these paintings is I'm putting the paint on rather thick. So it's not just the variation of color, but it's also the paint texture, which is providing the look and the feel of the finished painting. And I really like how the textures turn out, especially for Raja, because they turned out looking a lot like fur might look on a tiger. But of course, doing the thick paint leads to a little bit longer of a drying time. Overall, I've found that these paintings can be moved safely in about a week, but it takes a couple more weeks to dry fully. But that's about all for Raja. Here I have a video where I tried to get in really close so you could see the texture that I'm talking about. Honestly, the texture is one of my favorite parts of the painting, but I also really like how, especially in the sections where I'm using a palette knife or when I've grabbed a couple different colors on my brush, the paint mixes together and forms like this really nice color gradient and color variation. And I just really like how that adds up together to make the character itself. But that's about it for this particular painting. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed watching me paint this character, and I hope that maybe this has inspired you to do some artwork of your own. If you're interested in seeing the other Disney characters that I've painted with oils, there should be 3 more on the channel right now, and there are more coming to the channel in the future. So you might want to hit the subscribe button if you're really interested to see the rest of them. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day.